Alright, hey guys, I have been using Miss Grace for a little bit now. So this is some of my view and what I think can further be improved because to be honest, her rotation felt a little bit off overall. But she's still strong, don't get me wrong, she's still very strong. And some mention that she's made for focus flashback, but actually she still performed pretty good for raid, for tide of thoughts, reveries, and all those different modes as well. Right? So overall, yes, I do still agree that she's definitely designed to deal with the new mechanic, which is a flatus break. Yep. And it seems that it's possible that future endgame mode will have this as a permanent feature, this afflatus break. Okay? But raid at the moment still doesn't have it, including the new raid that they have introduced in patch 3.7 doesn't have afflatus break. Okay, overall, currently in her team, she is the DPS for the team, and the main teammate here is Rhiannon, Charon, and Enigma. So why the Dynamo duo? That's because they provide Alt Might Incantation Might, which both can be used by Miss Grace. And their buff overall is also very high, especially once you get Charon up to 4 stack of Consternation. The buff is really good, so that really helps to boost Miss Grace damage. Okay? Yeah, but here is the problem that I have, okay? If you look into her overall rotation right now, it takes about 2 to 3 rounds. One round is for her to use the morph cut, and 1 to 2 rounds to try to move the morph cut to to the right. Okay, it's a typo there, it's to the right. So this causes some inconsistency with her moxie and her actual rotation, as in her out rotation, not the morph rotation. So she kind of have two rotation here. One is bringing the morph cut to the right, one is her own ultimate rotation. The reason is because when the morph cut reaches to the right, she get 3 moxies. And let's say you use 2 rounds to get the cut to the right, and you use like 4 of her incantation, there's 4 moxie. So if you get the additional 3 moxies, then 2 will be wasted, right? On the other hand, if you can bring the card to the right in just 1 round, and you use both of Miss Grace incantation in that round, so there's 2 moxie, now the card goes to the right side, and there's 3 more moxie. In the next round, you can use her ultimate and also her morph card. So this will optimize and allow her to do even more damage. So the question here is, can you get the card to the right in just 1 round? Technically, with the current team, it's possible. Okay, it's possible because Charon can delete cards. Rhiannon can use card without consuming AP. So wherever the card is, you just use all of it. And you want to use Miss Grace card as well. So let's say if you only have, and let's say if you use her S1 and you have that buff, so currently the morph card is maybe 2 position or even 4 position in. So to the right of the morph card, let's say you have Charon's ultimate. You use it, you delete 2 cards. Then Rhiannon card is also there, so you use another 2 AP. I mean, it's free AP, so you use another 2 of her incantation. Then you basically you remove another 2 cards, and then maybe you have another 2 more cards there, and let's hope that is Miss Grace, and you use it. So now the morph card is all the way to the right. Okay, but if you look into this, it's quite restrictive in the sense that you want all those cards to be to the right of the morph card, and with all the out there, and yeah, you got to reset, but it's then subjected to RNG that you may not get what you want every single time. So Rhiannon being in the team is for sure. So this makes me think that Charon and Enigma is probably not her actual teammates, right? So which means we may be getting more character that will suit into Miss Grace's gameplay. So here, what I'm expecting is that we might get characters that has an ability to allow her or to allow any character to move an incantation wherever you want it for free. Okay, or like you at the start of the round you can select a card and that card can be moved for free. So we might be getting a character like that. If it's not specific to Miss Grace S1, we can simply move any incantation out from to the right of her morph card. You can just bring it to the left. That's as good as deleting a card, right? Because that will bring the morph card closer to the most right. Okay, so I think we might have a character like that. And one more thing to note is that Miss Grace has a mechanic where you use a certain incantation and she gets a certain buff. I mean, it will enhance the morph attack. So what is missing in the current Dynamo team is healing and also channeling. Channeling, Sharon do have it, but it's only from his ultimate. So it's not like you can use it every single time to get like maximum of 4 stacks. So there is a potential there. And it seems like the sustain for this team should be a healer, not a shielder. That perhaps can also channel, and when channeled, she can delete cards. He or she can delete cards when channeling. My assumption, okay? Number 3, selective delete of cards through rewrite mechanism. If you notice that there is a negative effect that we had in certain fight before this, where you click on that card, then you have to delete another card. Technically, that is very good for Miss Grace. So maybe we can get a character like that. But of course, it has to be some form of a positive effect. Like maybe you delete that card, the effect of that card somewhat is absorbed into that card that we are using. Like you use this card, it has its own effect, and you are needed to delete another card, and that card's effect or based on the type, then the one that we selected will be enhanced. So maybe. And possibly their ultimate is also free AP. Then that will function kind of like Rhiannon. Definitely not every single incantation is free AP because that is probably specific to Rhiannon at this point. They won't have another few more characters. All having this is a little bit too broken. So maybe just the ultimate. And here are also some clues that I pick up from Lucidscape. First of all, the first stage, it has this effect where each time an allied character takes an active action, their awakening values increase by 4%. If it's an area of effect attack, an additional 4%. So the enemies there are also mineral beast minerals, so you want to bring star and mineral units. So I kind of think this is not really for Miss Grace due to the Afflatus, as that Afflatus fits more into star and mineral, and that is instrument because we have Regulus as well as Coppelia, right, in the current team. So probably that stage is made for them. But active action also benefits Miss Grace because all her cards are not follow attack, but they are also considered as active action. For the second stage, after receiving healing, increase awakening value by 6%. And the Afflatus is beast, plant, beast, which means we want to bring mineral, beast, mineral, and that fits into Miss Grace and Rhiannon's, right? Rhiannon's is beast, Miss Grace is mineral. So where does that healing come from? Because if you're using the Dynamo team right now, you don't have any healing. So this also, make me suspect that in the next patch, maybe the first character that we will be getting in the next patch may be a healer that will work for Miss Grace, as this Lucidscape will spill over to the first half of the next patch. Alright, so overall, what I'm expecting is that Sharon and Anima currently are just temporarily, they will be replaced. And she should be getting her own team featuring a healer that may be in the next patch. We should get another sub DPS for this team, and this healer and sub DPS will have the mechanic that I've explained earlier related to deleting and moving cards or using cards for free, right? So that whatever the case, we will be able to bring Miss Grace morph card to the most right in just one round, and that will improve the rotation because it will be like Okay, round 1, you use 2 of Incantation, 2 Moxie. Now the card reached the rightmost, you get 3 more Moxie, 5. In the next turn, you used Ultimate and use the Morph card, and then repeat the cycle. So it will be very effective. She will be doing a lot of Morph attack every 2 rounds. So I think that would be her intended rotation. So the teammate will definitely allow her to do so. Okay, so that's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.